It's a very pretty country too, Austria.
Beautiful. I think.
Well, Poland is right almost on a border there, isn't it?
Well, I was down in Hungary,
Yeah.
and then I went up through the Slovakia.
Yeah.
I went from Hungary to Slovakia, and then into Czech Republic, and I took a
Did
train.
you get to Russia too?
I didn't get to Russia. I took a train from Czech Republic to Poland. And then I went all through Poland, and my family comes from just inside the border from Germany and Poland.
Oh, are you
So-
Polish?
Well, it's German. It's German ancestry.
Oh, German.
German ancestry.
Mhm.
Part of it. Part of it. The other part's Scottish. So anyway, let's get back to the Homas here.
Okay.
All right. So, Mike, do you want to see where that stopped, David?
Hmm?
You want to see where that stopped and the battery ran out?
No, actually the battery was still going. It was just starting to go
Oh,
out.
good, good, good. All right, so we got Mike, and he was a transportation specialist. We got that. All right, the church they attended, got that.
But also he was a lieutenant colonel because
I
I mean,
did.
who the heck can get to be a private and work himself up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
Okay. Goat. We don't know the, and you can't remember the Ukrainian word for goat.
Or what?
Goat.
No.
Okay.
We never, always said there's the goat. And, why are you interested in the goat?
Because that's a question on this trivia,
Oh,
and somebody says the goat has a name, and my theory is that maybe people didn't say goat in English. Maybe some people said goat in Ukrainian.
no,
so
it
we
was in English.
It was in
Goat's
English?
an English name.
Okay. All right. Well, I tried. Gigi's. Oh wait. What was the name of the store across the street from their house?
Jim's Fallaroni. James Fallaroni. F-A-L-L-E-R.
That was the name of the store.
Oh, that's what we called it, yeah.
Jim's.
Jim's for short. But
Okay.
his name was Jim Fallaroni.
How do you spell that?
F-A-L-L-A-R-O-N-I, I guess. Just,
Okay. Was he Italian?
huh?
Fallaroni. Is that an Italian name?
Yeah, he's Italian. They're Italian.
Okay. What kind of store was it?
A little grocery store. A little teeny-weeny grocery store.
Did you go there?
Oh, yeah, we had a little book there. And, yeah. It wasn't, we didn't have supermarkets or anything, there was independent stores everywhere in those days.
A little family owned.
Yes,
Did they live
that's
above
right.
it?
Huh?
Did they live above their store?
Yeah, they lived in the whole building, yeah.
Gigi's good friend who had a store on Campbell's Run Road.
What?
Gigi's good friend who had a store.
Mikita. M-Y-K-I-T-A.
M-Y.
Where did you get these questions?
Everywhere. I got a list of them that they have a trivia game going outside.
Oh.
And so we went to the source of
Huh?
we went to you because you're the source. You know all the answers for
Oh,
this.
no, I don't know all the answers.
You know all the hard ones. How did Gigi break his leg?
Well, first of all, he broke his leg when he was 28 years old and had a plate put in his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know where he worked on a railroad. No, he worked at Superior Steel.
Okay. So how did he break it? Was it a work accident?
Oh, yeah, it
Oh.
was at work.
Okay.
And then he also, at work, something fell on his leg, on his foot, and he lost toes. He had 3 accidents in the mill.
Really? What did the mill do how did they compensate him for that?
Huh?
How did they compensate him for those accidents?
Well, in those days, they had they sent their men to the St. Joseph Hospital in Pittsburgh, and that's where they all went. And they didn't have any compensation in those days. They didn't have anything, but they took care of all the expenses.
Okay.
But you never, things that in those days, there was no welfare, there was nothing, you know what I mean?
No union?
No compensation.
When did the union start coming in? Can you remember when?
In the union, it was horrible. Not too much in the small mills like Superior, but like Carnegie Steel, Bessemer and all of them, people were killed. Well, you're not interested, but
Oh, yeah.
people were killed, and that's when the unions come in. It was awful. It was really awful. There is a segment that once in a while comes on cable television, telling us all about how the union came in. You know, I mean, not into each individual plant, but as it came in as a beginning. Oh, it was awful. The unions, the owners never wanted the union, you know. So the owners were fighting the men.
Did it improve when the unions came,
Huh?
or did it improve, or did it make things worse?
Oh, of course. Well, little bit by little bit. Nothing came in fast.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, really?
And,
Don't listen to her.
Smart Alec.
Not a lot of her. Right?
What did she say?
He's telling you not to listen to me.
No, it was the other way around. Mary could tell you a
Now,
bunch
who's
of
that?
lies.
I can't see. Who's that?
That's
Gary, who do you think
Oh.
it is?
Oh, Gary, you know I'm half blind.
So what's that have to do? You don't recognize my voice? You only
Well,
babysat me for
you
70
know I'm hard of
years.
hearing.
Huh?
I'll give you a hug later.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, let's see.
I used to babysit for him.
Yeah,
I babysat for a lot of them.
I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
All right, what hung on the ceiling in the pantry in Bubba and Gigi?
What?
What hung on the ceiling?
One hung.
What hung on the ceiling in the pantry in Bubba and Gigi's house?
One hung. The only thing I knew was a rope there and a bulb. I don't know anything else. What did they say?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that
That's
one.
the only thing I know
Did
of.
they hang?
You know how they used to have on the ceiling, they never had chandeliers or
right,
anything.
in the pantry? In the pantry where they stored the food, did they like
Oh,
hang
onion,
onions?
what was on the ceiling?
Yeah, what did they hang from the ceiling? Did they maybe hang onions from the
Oh,
ceiling?
well, probably. Wait. Yeah, onions, that's right, onions and garlic. I didn't understand the question. Garlic and onions and, I don't know, most of it they were packed in a barrel down the basement like carrots and apples. That's all I can remember there.
Did they hang any like cured meats or dried fish or
No,
anything?
we never did that.
Okay. How many years was it between the first child born to Bubba and the last child?
20 years.
That's what we had. We were right on that one. How many great-grandchildren are there?
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Red. I really don't know how many there are. I know there's, in my family, there are 3.
Okay.
Oh, no, great-grandchildren.
Great-grandchildren.
Great,
Yeah.
I have 3 great-grandchildren.
Okay, and did Mike have kids? No.
Huh?
Mike didn't have any
He
kids.
wasn't married.
Wassel, great-grandchildren.
I don't know. I don't think they have any. Wait a minute. No,
Lauren?
because none of their kids are married.
Lauren?
Who?
Lauren?
No, Lauren is,
She's not a great grand.
She's not a great-grand.
she's not a great, she's a grandchild. Because
Okay.
don't forget there's grandchild and great-grandchild.
All right, Olga.
Oh, God. Well, let me see.
Who were Olga's?
I don't think any of the kids are married have, oh, yeah. Great. I think that Sharon's daughter is a great, oh, wait a minute.
We can check on that one.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to figure.
That's a tough one.
figure.
Yeah, that one takes a lot of
I
math.
have
Okay, how about this one? How many boys were in the military?
6.
6. What were they?
Well, you mean,
So
what
let's start with
service?
the old. Yeah, Mike was.
Mike was in the Army.
He was. What was his rank?
Huh?
Mike's rank.
Lieutenant Colonel.
Okay, and then Wassel.
Well, I think he was he was a sergeant, but he became some kind of warden, I forget what they call it. I forget. Helen knows. Did you
Okay.
ask Helen?
Nope, not yet.
Uh,
But he was Army too.
but he was warrant officer, I think he was.
Okay, warrant
Because
officer.
I think that came after the sergeant, the
Okay.
rank. I'm sure. I'm not sure now.
And Mike was in both World Wars. No.
He was where?
Mike was in World War II and the Korean War? Or
No.
just World War II?
Just World War II.
Okay. and
No Korean War came much later.
Yeah. Wassel was in World War II,
Mhm.
in the Army. Andrew,
Andrew also was in World War II,
and he was in which branch?
Army.
Army. What
But
was,
I don't know the rank, what you have to ask, you have to ask Jane for that one.
Okay.
Forgot.
Luddy.
Luddy was also with the Army, and he was with, what is the department,
I know he went to China and India.
he was at the Burma Road mostly, and then what they used to do is bring in parts of equipment, and they used to assemble this equipment. A lot of different equipment didn't come already, together like. It came in parts, and they had to be assembled. Now that's what he did, but it wasn't not in the front lines. Okay, that was behind the front lines.
Okay. Okay. David, do you want to ask me these questions?
No, no,
Okay.
fine.
Let's see. Okay, so we're still going down on the line. So Andrew, Luddy, then we got Johnny,
He was in the Navy.
Navy. Okay, did he enlist or was
No,
he drafted?
No, he
He
enlisted.
enlisted. Okay, and he's the only one in the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what his rank was?
I don't know what the rank is for the Navy because, the other ones were in the Army, so I really don't know the ranks of the Navy.
When was he in any World War?
Huh?
Was he in any war?
No. Well, no.
Was
He was not in
time
the
of
war.
peace?
Huh?
Time during peace times?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay. And Russell?
Well, where Russell was, he was in Korea.
What was his special position?
Well, he was a guard, whatever you
MP?
call it, a MP.
In
Uh-huh.
Korea. Okay.
And they chose him right, believe me.
He's a good guard, huh?
We used to laugh. They said, boy, they really got his number.
A lot of these questions we've got. Whose nickname was Hinka?
My sister Maxine, but her right name is Michaelina. But that's why we call her Hinka, because in Ukrainian it's Michalinka. And so that's how they got Hinka out of it.
How do you spell her real name?
Maxine. Because everybody knows her by Maxine. How she got Maxine, nobody knows.
So
She-
what was her real? Tell me how her real name was spelled.
You mean Maxine?
Okay, the Ukrainian name that you told me.
Michalina.
Can you spell that?
Michaelina.
Oh.
Just Michael. In English it's Michaelina, it's the same. Like Michael is Michal, so.
Okay, and so Hinka was her nickname. And whose
I
nickname was
wonder who remembered Hinka, my God.
whose nickname was famous?
My brother Mike was a lieutenant colonel.
Why was it
And
famous?
he was famous because Russell and my brother Luddy, not Luddy, but Wassel and your father,
Russell.
Russell, played football in high school. And Mike was short like it. A lot of us stayed real short and small, then we grew up faster. And he used to be the water boy. He used to carry the water, when an accident or you needed water. And that's when they used to start calling him famous.
Oh yeah.
And that's how he made famous. All through his lifetime, some people didn't know him by anything but famous.
Did they call him Famous Mike or Famous
No,
Homa?
just famous.
Just hey Famous.
And everybody in Carnegie who was famous, because everybody used to laugh, there goes famous. He was small, the bucket was almost as big as him. So that's the reason that, yeah.
So it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek nickname.
Yeah,
Okay. How about Gumball?
Andrew, because he was real. I wonder, where did you get that? I don't remember those
They ask everybody, I think.
But I don't remember who remembered all the older ones. I don't see where the young ones could have remembered it. Okay.
So who was Gumball?
Andrew.
Andrew. Why was he Gumball?
I don't know. He was real small and all of that. And, they used to have a ball and they used to throw it around.
Okay. Whose nickname was Huss?
Huh?
Whose nickname was Huss?
How do you spell it?
H-U-S-S.
Huss.
I know
No,
that answer.
Russ, you mean?
But they called him Huss.
Uh-uh. No, Russ.
Yeah, they called him Russ too, but they called him Huss because he could hustle, isn't it, in football?
That's the first time I heard that. I never heard it.
What son was a football star in college?
What?
What son was a football star in college?
Well, Russell.
What made him a star? What was the difference between just being a player and being a football star?
What?
How come he was a star?
I really don't know, because you know what, he asked me, he said, hey Mary, I bet you don't know what field I played, you know, what, in a team, and you know, I forgot whether he played defense or what he played. I know he didn't play, what you call it, what do they call that?
Quarterback.
I knew he wasn't that. What was he? I don't remember. I said, hey Russell, I told him I forgot. I wish I did. I don't know. What was he?
I don't know. I don't know either. You know?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
might have been defense, but I don't know. Okay.
Okay. What sibling drove in a wire fence when they were learning to drive?
Me.
You did that. Okay.
Oh my
What
God.
happened?
You know what happened? From my brother Andrew moved to Virginia, and so he sold me his little car, a Triumph.
That was you
a
that
red
ran into the
Triumph.
fence? That was you that ran into the fence?
That's Richard. That's Richard. He wants to know if that was you.
Yeah.
So, who had,
So anyway, I was learning to drive. I was taking lessons. They had lessons in the high school, and then my brother-in-law, Lou Polio, he was teaching me how to drive too. My sister, Millie, was in the back of the car, and I was driving the car, and you know, he was helping me to, you know, he was with me. So anyway, we came up down a big hill, and we went to a place we called a cornfield. That's where everybody went to learn to drive. And the road was small. A car was coming toward us, and I wanted to shift to the right and put my foot harder. I don't know how. I was supposed to put it on the gas, and I don't know how. What I did, I put it on, no, not on the gas. I wanted to put it on the
brake?
brake.
Because you have that left foot on the clutch and then your right foot.
So what I did, I put it on the
Gas?
gas. It went through a cyclone fence. This was at a Ryerson Steel Company. And there was a wall, that concrete wall, that, what do you call it? And we don't know how we got all out of it. Lou said, I don't remember how we got out of it. And Lou said he grabbed my arm, or he grabbed the wheel, or something, and we thought we were all going to get killed. And so when I had my birthday, see, every second year my sisters come fly down for my birthday. So when I had a birthday party, not this year, but last year, they, my son-in-law said, who remembers something about Mary and her when she was younger? So Millie brought that up, you know. And so we still don't know how, you know, well, I always say it's God, okay? Because everything that miraculous happens, I always say it's God or the angels watching over it. So that's the story.
Were you able to drive away from that?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Or the roof, because he had a convertible that had, you know, one of them roofs like, you know what kind of convertible?
The rag top?
Yeah, right. And I tore that, you know, well, actually through the cyclone fence. But nobody was hurt or anything. It was a miracle. It was just a miracle.
And whose car was it one more time?
My brother Mike, famous.
Mike. Okay.
He always
Was
had
he-
a convertible.
Was he sore? Was he sore about the car being
Well,
damaged?
in our, no, I'm surprised, no. And I don't know what he did after that, whether he got any insurance on it or not. I don't know.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Who wanted to borrow her sister's engagement ring
Oh my God.
the day after she received it?
Mekarinka.
Maxine. She wanted to borrow it, or she had it?
No, she wanted, asked it so she could show it to, the people where she, at work. And she used to borrow their underclothes and everything. And this is so funny. When they were waiting, Joanne and I forget who else, was waiting to get some underclothes, and it wasn't there. So they waited till Maxine come home from work. They picked up her dress. There's her petticoat. There's her. Oh, with all them kids, we have a lot of memories. But I have to tell you one thing. We argue, and we have differences and difference of opinion and everything, and we never hold grudges. I told Luddy, I said, we were arguing. I said, Luddy, I don't want you to come to my funeral. And one time I was beating him real bad on his chest because he said something. He said, my father was mad. He came to me and he told me, and he didn't know why I was beating him on his chest. See, we don't hold grudges, and we will not exactly insult somebody, or I'll say, yeah. I says, I'm putting you on the bottom of my black book. I says, you didn't call me. Stuff like that. So we don't get mad at things. It doesn't, it's good like that. Mm-hmm. And people used to say in Trinity, those Homa, they get along so well. And I said, yeah, just you, you don't know the half of it.
Wait till you see our dinner conversation. The dinner conversation
yeah,
was a little lively.
We have a lot of dinner conversation.
So, who did Maxine borrow the ring from?
She borrowed, I think it was Elizabeth's ring.
And did Lizzie let her borrow it?
No, she didn't give it to her.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Okay, who had a boyfriend named Fred?
Amelia. They used to call him Fred the freeloader.
Why?
Because he used to come down to the house all the time, and and well, everybody fed everybody, but he ate so much, He was in a service.
What sibling was in a near fatal sledding accident?
Flooding?
Sledding.
Oh, my daughter. Oh, no. Yes, no.
It was a sibling.
I mean, sledding?
Yeah. Somebody almost died on a sled
No,
in the snow.
No, it wasn't a sled. I thought it was a bicycle.
Okay, well, what happened
Maxine.
there? Maxine almost died in a bicycle?
Yeah, that's right. She almost died. Right, that's right. They took her to the hospital. We have a arch. That's what it was called, Arch Street. And she went from the top of the hill, maybe it was a sled, I'm going to have to check on that, all the way down, and she missed this arch had one entrance and one exit, okay? So she hit the middle of the, exit and the entrance, and then that's what happened. She became, her face became paralyzed. You met her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you notice her face a little bit like? She had one deaf ear, but it got a lot better. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that stayed with her for the rest of her life?
Huh?
That stayed with her for the rest of her
Well,
life?
it got better, and it's very, very slight. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people really noticed it, but we knew about it, so maybe we noticed it more than other people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And how old was she when that happened?
Yes, that's what I was trying to figure out, Laura. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
About 17, I guess. I don't know.
Well, now we got a question. I don't know the answer to this one at all.
Mary.
Uh-huh. Who is that?
That's
Georgie.
Georgie.
Oh, hi, Georgie. What?
Who's the bingo queen today?
Elizabeth.
Okay. Whose boyfriend had the Homa family, and I want to know this story.
What?
Whose boyfriend had the Homa family investigated, then dumped her?
Oh, no, he didn't dump her. He didn't, well, no, I wouldn't say he dumped her because he still wanted, that's Johanna.
Okay.
Johanna Polio.
Oh, what happened?
What happened was, see, in those days, the communists, you know what, if you know history, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know the problems there were in the government, in the movie industry, and if you were a called a communist or something, that was almost like a crime.
Mm-hmm. You blacklisted.
And when my brother was in his service, the one that's a lieutenant colonel, they investigated him because he had a very position that, you know, transporting all these boys and everything. So they had us investigated because to clear his name, in other words, you know.
Because these folks are from the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Right. And
So Johanna.
it was
Joanna.
Johanna. And he, and then we used to get a paper called the Pravda, okay? And it's in English, Pravda means truth. And anybody that got that paper, that they thought that they were a communist, okay? So we used to get that paper, okay? And then,
What language was it in?
Russian.
It was in Russian?
Or Ukrainian.
Who read it?
My mother and father, my mother. My
So
mother.
Gigi was illiterate, right? Gigi couldn't read.
No, but he later on he could just read maybe some headlines or something.
Okay.
No, my mother was the one in the family that she went to the 3rd grade. That was the highest class at that time in Europe, in Austria. 3rd grade, whatever 3rd grade, I don't know it. But she could read and write, and people used to come to our house that, you know, from Europe, because half of them could read, maybe most of them, and she would read their letters in Ukrainian. She would write the people would come and tell my mother what to write, and then when they used to send packages, because, you know, most of the people, and she would write on the package the name and all of that. And she taught my father to read in Ukrainian, a little bit, and I'm telling you. And also, my mother learned to read English from the kids, because we all had to do our night work and, you know, and all that. Then that's how my father learned too, a little bit, but, you know, just a little bit.
Did your father have any formal schooling?
Not that I know of. I really don't know.
What were the towns that they were from?
Well,
They were from the same or different villages, or country? Were they country? Were they cities?
well, it's just like some of the villages were close by, like, you know, like over here, Carnegie, Glendale, Heidelberg, you know. I have it written down at home, but I don't remember.
But they met here.
Yes.
Were they from nearby, back home?
Uh-huh.
Where they came from? Did their families live here?
Well, no, not close.
Okay.
Not close.
That's one of those kind of
Well,
legends that
but
develop.
you know what? When the people from Europe used to come to the United States, I'm speaking about our territory where we live. They wanted to get married to the same nationality as them, and if they saw somebody that they wanted, you know, then they got together and got married, you know what I mean? Just because they talk the same language and all of that, you know. Because when you come to a country like this, and you don't know anybody, you know.
You find a support group.
So okay, what else?
So if you want to pull that closer, I can flip the screen so you can see what's being filmed on the screen.
Boy, they're going in and out, wow.
Just for the sound quality.
What's he gonna do?
Oh, I think he's going to film something there.
I'll just move it over here. See.
I think he's going to want to film something.
I don't know.
What's he gonna do?
He's filming. Put my wallet under it.
Yeah.
Is he filming you and me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just a little.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, next question. All right, Bingo Queen, we got that. That was Liz. Fred the Freeloader. Maxine. So, go back to the story. So, Homa family investigated and dumped her. That was who? That was Johanna. What was the story with that guy? Why did he have her investigated?
Well, like I told you, in those days,
communist?
if you yes, and if anybody called you a communist, you're a communist. You were, you know,
Did he?
you were an enemy of the country. In other words.
So did he? You said he.
You know what? There were a lot of people really, they were ruined. That, like in Hollywood, a lot of those, they said most of them were in Hollywood. People's names were ruined. I mean, they were ruined by people saying they were communists. Even this, I think it was McCarthy, wasn't it, that in the government that said that they were out there. So there were a lot of people ruined by that word communist. See, so people were very aware. I mean, they were just being afraid to be even associated with somebody with a communist.
So what happened with the boyfriend?
Well, I don't know. They had a little bit of money and all that, but Joanne told me later on when they met, he said that he should have married her. He still loves her.
But he didn't end up marrying her. It's not Lou, huh?
Huh?
It's not Lou.
No.
Ah.
This was this other one that was investigating her.
I see. Okay, Lou never had her investigated that we know.
Oh, no, no.
How did they find out that they were? How did she know that they were investigated? Did he tell her or?
No, but they go to people's houses too, you know. Now, like when I wanted to adopt a child, I didn't know that they went to other houses and asked about me, you know, different things about me and my husband, you know, did you see this, did you see that, and then. They could, even like my brother was investigated, was in the service, Michael. We did not know.
Did people come later and tell you?
Well, no, maybe they did a few, but this is what happened. When we didn't hear from Mike for a long, long time, and we thought maybe he was missing in action or what. Okay, so we went to they told us to go to the Red Cross. Okay, we went to the Red Cross to find what was what. But he was on a secret mission at that time. He might have been transporting troops to territories where they were fought. Well, you know, they didn't want anybody to know where anybody was. But they said he was safe. So we were investigating. Well, I told you that we were investigated for that.
Okay, let's go on. Who stood up his wife on his first date?
Who stood up? Andrew.
What happened there?
Well, he was taken to the hospital with appendicitis attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then he met her again, and then he asked her to get married in 6 months' time. He married. Everybody in our family got married so fast, you know.
Who always made fudge for their kids? For the kids.
Oh, I don't know who. Who do you have there?
We don't have anybody. We weren't sure
Who
about
made
that.
fudge? I don't know who made fudge.
Okay.
We all made fudge, but I don't know who the heck.
Aunt Helen makes the best fudge.
Helen.
Helen Clear.
We figured. Oh, Helen Clear. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Who met a friend from Carnegie on the Burma Road? Well, we know that one.
Oh,
Burma Road.
Wozniak.
Letty met who? Who did he meet?
Wozniak. Ozniak. And he lived almost near us. Not near us, but we had to pass his house. So we became real good friends. When they got letters, they would let us know, and then when we got them, we let them know.
Okay.
Lonnie must have wrote that, put that one in.
Maybe Aunt Blanche.
Oh, yeah.
Who got thrown out of the house because she married a Catholic?
But that's not true.
Well, what's the...
Helen Clear, but that is not true. Her and I argue about that all the time. Because this is what happened. The day before she met him, she was working in a pens factory in North Side, and they told the girls put names of, they put their name in the pockets of the trousers that were sent to the service. The army or wherever. And then this fella that got that pair of pants had Helen Clear's name in it. So he got in touch with her when he came, because our town, it was really something. Our town was next to where he lived. We were Carnegie. He was in Glendale, and that's just you might as well say across the street. And so they had just had not too many dates, okay. And the day before he was to be shipped out, the day before they got married. And we didn't know she was going to get married. See, that's the day. My mother came to my house. She says, Mary, she says, here's $5. Go to Jim's, buy pork chops. Helen's getting married. I said, who's she marrying? My mother said, some boy. We didn't know who he was. We never saw him or nothing, you know. So anyway, then I had the wedding at my house. And because my father was supposed to come home from work at 3 o'clock, and if my father would have been mad because she got married and didn't tell us or whatever, I don't know. But how my father didn't even know he was Catholic. So anyway, I had the little dinner party at my house, and the next day he was shipped out. But if that's not true that I know of, that he threw her in the house, because he did not. But she says that. Because you know why? You know I don't believe it? Because your father and your mother stayed with them for a while, okay? And there was 3 of them. And Jane and her husband. And Andy stayed with them, okay? And there were, I forget who else, Johnny for a while. When they were in the service, they sent their wives to my mother and dad's. But that, I always tell Helen when she said it, I said, Helen, that is not true. So if you want to put her name down, okay. But that's not true.
Okay. All right, well, I'll put both notes in there. All right.
Well, you could put it down because she thinks so. She tells that story all the time.
Okay. Who knocked down a telephone pole with his or her car?
Vladimir.
What happened?
Well, there were streetcar tracks, and his car got stuck in the streetcar tracks, and he hit the pole.
That's it with the pierogies. David, this is what you want, right?
No,
Yeah, okay. Who dropped out of high school for 1 year to work to buy a suit to graduate?
To buy a what?
To buy a suit to graduate. I'll repeat that one. It's a funny question. Who dropped out of high school so he could buy a suit so he could go to graduation in a suit?
That's the first time I heard that one.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Who do you think? If you had to guess that somebody dropped, do you know of any of the boys who dropped out? It says.
It could only be the first 3. Mike, Wassel, and Andrew went to, he didn't go to high school, he went to trade school. He finished his high school in trade school. So it can't be him.
Did anybody drop out?
No, not that I know of. And let me see. Not Johnny. Well, Johnny dropped the junior year to enlist in the Navy. Mm-hmm. Now Russell didn't drop off. It had to be Mike or Wassel, but I don't know. That's the first time I heard that one.
Well, I'll circle that one and we'll go look for answers from elsewhere after we got more. We got more questions for you, don't we?
Those are the grandkids.
You're not tired out yet, are you?
No.
Okay. So you think it's Mike or Wassel? It could be a grandkid, I guess.
Mm.
Oh, I never thought of that.
That's the last of the kid questions.
These are still sibling.
Yeah, sibling questions. That's the last.
Wassel was Wasyl. Okay.
No, I don't know
You don't have to do the
anybody.
grandkid questions.
But see, I know more about my brothers and sisters than I do about the grandchildren.
So-
Yeah.
Because I don't hardly ever see them.
Yeah.
So got all. I think we got great grandchildren. We don't know that one. Son in the Navy. There was one you didn't know. The sledding accident you think is Maxine.
What?
The sledding accident, you think it's a bicycle accident, but you're not sure.
Well, it was an accident.
It was an accident, we know that.
But it couldn't have been a sledding because when it was warm, we were sitting on a porch and people were going by,
And you saw it?
Huh?
Did you see the accident?
No, I didn't see the accident happened a very short distance away, just around the corner where we lived, and they had these, I told you, the tunnels, the arches.
Okay.
But it can't be the sled. It has to be, like I told you, the bike.
Okay. Hey, we're in here. I think that's about it. The rest are the grandchildren and the cousins.
Yeah.
Do you have other questions you wanted to ask?
Well, no. What I want you to do for tomorrow.
Huh?
Tomorrow, I want to sit down and you have to tell me some stories about your parents.
About my parents.
Yeah, about Bubba and Gigi.
Just
Uh-huh.
things you remember
Just things you
about
remember.
him.
Because my dad, Russ, he doesn't remember anything.
Huh?
I said, Russ, he doesn't hardly remember anything.
Who does?
My dad, Russ. He was too young.
Oh, well, that's true, 20 years. And you know, already 20 years, quite a few of us were married.
Yeah.
And that, but I want to tell you about your father's first girlfriend. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. He was playing the football. Rita was a cheerleader. Well, you know, your father was very, very popular in high school.
Yeah.
He was, I forget, he had all kind of titles and everything. You probably know because it's in his yearbook. Okay. All right. So him and Rita were dating, and they got engaged. They were going to get married, and they bought furniture and put it in a layaway. Okay. And, you know, then he got the greetings from the government to go to the service, Korea. Okay. So naturally they postponed it. Okay. Then your father got a Dear John letter, I don't know, not right away, but later on. And see, first of all, Rita used to pass our house to go to work in a little plant, okay? I don't know, she did some kind of clerical work. I don't know what it is, I forgot. So anyway, doesn't she want to hear it, huh?
Oh.
Okay, so anyway, he got a Dear John letter. So, your father didn't drink, and he went and got himself drunk and landed in the brig, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And he's an MP, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we found out later on, we were so mad at her that she used to pass our house, I told you, to go
Yeah.
to work, and the kids were little, not little then, but when we were out on a porch, we always sat on a porch, there goes Rita, there goes Rita. And we wouldn't talk to her or nothing. We ignored her on the street. When we went on the street, we saw her out shopping. We all ignored her. So one day she came to the house, and she said that, you know, she said she went, I don't know where she went, to a party or whatever it was, and she had something to drink, and that she made a mistake. She got pregnant. Did you hear that?
No.
And that's what happened. And then your father went, he was working at Ryerson Steel in the mail department. You know that?
No.
And he used to go to Pittsburgh, pick up the mail, and deliver it to Ryerson Steel, and, you know, deliver it where it has to go. And they told him that he is, they were the ones that encouraged him to go to college. They said he's a nice-looking boy, and he could better himself, make more money, that he should go. And he had a football scholarship, you know that, and GI, okay? So he took advantage of it. So he met, you know, your mother was a cheerleader, okay? Well, you know how they say cheerleader and a football player like this, okay? So anyway, she was only 18, and your father, he bought himself a Mercury before he went to college. Well, when he was working, okay. So the Mercury wasn't paid for. And my father said, go to school, I'll make the payments on the Mercury. Okay, so he took the Mercury to college with him. Okay, and then, but my father did say, because after the breakup with Rita, he says, you're not going to get involved with no girl, are you? And you know, he says, who am I going to get involved with, is what he said. And actually, he's not there. So at one time, I don't know whether it was Christmas or what, he calls us up and he said that for one of my sisters to buy a real nice sweater, that he has a girlfriend and he wants to give her a gift, okay? That's when we first found out he was dating. And then we got a phone call one day. I lived like 2 doors away from mother. I was visiting my mother there. We were back and forth. And the phone call came, and he was married. See, what happened was my mother answered the phone first, or my father, and then they got, a son, you might as well say, because he just went there. He's only there half a year. And so then my mother took the phone, and then we thought there was an accident. We thought something terrible happened. So I grabbed the phone, and I what happened? What happened? What happened? He got married. Hey, your grandmother, what's her name now? Carol's mother.
Oh, Lydia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was against it, of
Oh,
course, and
yeah.
who wouldn't be against it? She's 18. So she got mad at the preacher because the preacher, you heard all that.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
If you heard anything, you let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, and then, well, I don't know how much I should tell you because it's your mother.
Yeah, that's okay. Tell me enough.
Huh?
You have to tell me everything.
Oh, okay. Well, then when they got married, they came to Carnegie. They stayed with my mother and dad, and I think that there was Denise at that time. Because she used to cry a lot. But I mean, she was in Carnegie. Okay. So my father bought a house up Rosslyn Heights, and all my brothers and even my husband were fixing it up for Russell, for your father. He was trying to get a job in Carnegie and around, and he couldn't get any, So I don't know. I really don't know how he got, how he got the job where he is. I really don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was at your place once only, but you were too little. But this is what after we didn't know anything about your mother and father's problems. So one Christmas, I got a Christmas card from Eddie Bladel. Said that's I forget what the words were, but it's too bad that about Russell and Carol. Well, we don't know what the heck too bad was. We don't know. So I called Russell up. I said, Russell, I hear that you, I hear that, he said that it's too bad about what happened. I said, what happened? And so he said that Carol left him. And I says, why? And he says, ask her. So I said, well, give me her number. She already left, stayed with that nurse or something. Remember? And you went, okay, too. You went. So I called her. And I said, because I'm the oldest one, I'm used to bossing around and telling everybody all right, raise the kids up. So I said to your mother, Carol, I told her that I got this card from Eddie, and then I called Russell, and Russell said for me to call you. I says, is he running around with other women? No. Is he beating you up? No. I said, is he drinking? No. I says, well, what's the problem, Carol? And she said, he's mean. And the kids are shaking in their boots. I says, well, that shaking in their boots didn't do them any harm. They were in college, because that's the way I went on. I told it as it is.
Yeah.
See, I'm known for that, telling it as it is. I said, it didn't do them too much harm if they were shaking in the boots. And I said, and then I don't know exactly what else was said, And naturally, all of us were shocked. Russell was very, very hurt, And I'm going to tell you something. Divorce, the whole family suffers. The brothers and sisters, and all of that, And so your mother's told me she wants to do her thing. That's what she said. Well, I don't know what kind of thing she wanted to do. So now I'm always saying, well, when people say, why did Carol and Russell get a divorce? I said, because she wanted to do her thing. So people say, what kind of thing? I says, I don't know. I said, she had 13 years to do it. I hope she did it. And I'm talking about your mother.
No.
Okay? But that, you know, maybe,
Yeah.
huh?
That's okay.
Uh-huh. And so, I always thought that, you know, they would get together again. Because a lot of people separate after they
Yeah.
get married and all of that stuff, you know. And, I don't know, you know more than I do after that, what, you know, but I felt sorry for your father, and I still do. And now, you know, and here another thing is, your mother always wanted to go to visit us, different ones in Carnegie and wherever, and there was no money. Don't forget, there were 5 children. You know that, don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
All right. And then, don't forget Russell. This is what gets to me. Okay, I'm sorry, she's your mother, but I'm thinking for my brother. Okay, he worked he went to college on GI and that football for 6 years so he could get his master's degree, had kids, and painted in the summertime. And he worked real hard, okay? And so he did the best he could. Of course, everybody has problems. I don't care who it is has problems. You have to learn to solve your problems, okay? Well, anyway, so what was the last thing I said? A lot of times my mind about
You were just talking about
what?
my mom.
Yeah, I know.
Carol.
But what's the last thing I said?
Everybody has problems. And
Yeah. Uh-huh. So then, I heard later on that she moved Russell didn't want to talk about it too much, you know. And then she moved to Florida. And then she moved in with her mother. Then she moved out. Uh-huh. And I don't know what she's doing now.
Still just living in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just works in Florida down there.
Do you see her?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. At least once a year. Her mother's not doing so good
That's
now.
what I heard. I heard
And
she
so
had, well, she
she's-
always had, well, she's in her 80s, she has heart trouble, you know.
Yeah. And so my mom's been taking care of her.
Uh-huh. And then your father calls me up once in a while. He thinks that I'm supposed to know everything, and he asks for advice, you know. And so he said that your mother wants to come to the wedding, and then Verna is not happy about it. Well, you can see why she wasn't
Well,
happy
yeah.
about it. I mean, common sense will tell you that. And I said, Russell, he says, what shall I do? And I says, Russell, I can't tell you what to do. I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I said, if I was Verna, I wouldn't want her to come either.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, all right. So then, I heard, now we hear some things through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, what else now that, well, how was it now? She wanted to come, well, I told you already about the wedding, you know. And we heard that she did come to the wedding. And, well, naturally, Verna didn't like that. And she didn't come to the church, but went to the reception. And that everybody was uncomfortable. And is it true that your brother Michael, when your mother came there several times, he wouldn't let her stay with him?
Yeah. Ever since my
And-
parents got divorced.
Yeah,
she's been-
well, you
yeah.
see, that affected all of you, and she really lost out, I'll tell you right now. She really lost out. Because look, she had all of you. She could have been going visiting here, there, and everywhere. Okay, now, and is it true that she came for her furniture?
In Nebraska?
Huh?
In Nebraska?
Yeah, the same time that she came to the, you know, during the, and this is what she said. That was her excuse why she came. Now don't forget, this is a hearsay.
Yeah.
That she wanted to see her whole family together, and she hasn't seen the kids and their
Yeah,
family
yeah.
for 10 years. That's why she came, you know,
Yeah.
during the wedding. And that she said to Russell that she wants half of her furniture, her share of the furniture. And she took it.
No.
That's not true.
No.
Okay.
Not at the wedding. No.
Oh,
no, no.
I mean, not right at the wedding, but a couple of days later.
No. No.
Did she ever take it?
No. She didn't have any furniture there.
Well, that's what we heard. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is what your father told me. Your father said, don't forget, she left him,
Yeah.
and he was paying her alimony. And I said, Russell, I understand that, and also he had to remortgage the house, okay, and he had to pay half of his. The only thing Russell said he didn't care about that, but he said what he didn't like is when he has to give half of his pension when he retires to her.
Yeah.
That's what he didn't like. And I said, Russell, why are you paying her alimony? I said, she left you. And see, I don't know the law, but I always heard the one that leaves, you know, I don't know if that's in the law, but
Yeah.
that's what I heard, okay? And then, you know, we thought that was awful. You know what I mean? The house, the kids, and you know what? That affects the kids because you know the Roosevelt, the multi-million. I read some biographies. You know, they were so mad, the kids, when their father and one of the Roosevelts, there's a lot of them, that they were so mad for years and years, generations. That's how divorce affects children. You know. So, but does your mother ever go see any of the girls or anything?
Oh yeah, yeah, very often. Yeah, like when Denise just had her last kid, Maura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean every time that anybody's had a child, she goes out and spends probably about 2 weeks to a month after the child is born to help take care of the kid. Oh yeah, she definitely.
Do you think she ever wanted to come back? Because Russell would have taken her back, you know.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know why, but I don't think so. I mean, just my opinion.
Well, what do you think? See, that's my brother.
Yeah.
That's your father. What do you think was the problem? Why she got divorced? What grounds did she use?
Well.
Reconciliation, I guess, something like that, huh?
Yeah, I think. I really don't know because I wasn't around that much, and so I don't know all the details myself.
Well, how old were you when you?
I was 18. So I mean, I was still living at home, but I wasn't around very much, so I never heard any details. So you know, I think.
Well, was he that awful, like she says?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They had arguments a lot. But,
Well,
yeah.
it's hard to talk about against each one of them because
Yeah.
it's mother and father. You know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
I think just before they got divorced, there were
Huh?
just before they got divorced,
Yeah.
there were a lot of arguments, and I mean, it was very, very tense
Okay.
between both of them.
One time, your mother came. Well, I'm the oldest one. A lot of people used to come with problems to me. One time, your mother told me that they were having trouble about sex, you know. And so, and I said, I learned a real good lesson when I was 27 years old. And I'm telling you this first, so that this advice I give to everybody. And I don't feel embarrassed or nothing, okay, when I'm telling you this. And the houses were so close.
Yeah.
Where I lived, the lot was only 25 feet. So you could almost hear the next door
Yeah.
through the windows
Yeah.
upstairs. So she said her name, she was watching, Mrs. Sarah. She says, Mary, she says, I wish that you would quit fighting with, he'd come home drunk and I didn't
Yeah.
want to give it to him, okay?
Yeah.
And then the kids were in the next room, they were little and all that. So, you know, we'd get into it. So Mrs. Terra says, Mary, give it to him when he wants it. He's going to be happy. He won't be arguing. Everybody will be happy, she says. And everybody will go to sleep. We'll go to sleep. You'll go to sleep. You know, and stuff like that. So anyway, I did.
Yeah.
I did that. Okay. So when Carol told me that she was having problems, I said, Carol, let me tell you something from experience. Give it to him. Anytime he wants to. What's the difference what time of the day or what it is, you know? So she said, well, ask Russell what the problem is. So I asked Russell. He almost told me the same thing. I said, Carol just told me the same thing. And I said, I didn't know who to believe, you know. I'll tell you something funny else when we're talking on this. Blanche and life. Okay. I was working in a little rug shop, and she calls me up, and she says, you know, your brother's a sex maniac, this, that, and the other. I said, what's the matter? She said, he wants it and Gary's coming home from school. I said, Blanche, how long is this going to take you? By the time that you're finished, I says, he still won't be home. I said, how And I used to laugh. I said, they used to call me about things like that. I'm telling you. And I put it on the line. And I know a lot of them, you know. Hey, why don't you get married? Your father wants you to get married. Why?
Huh?
Why?
I'm going to.
Huh?
I'm going to.
When? Huh?
I'm going to ask her this summer.
Oh,
Shh, don't sing.
it's better to get married.
Oh, no, we're going to.
It's
My dad waited for 7 years
for what?
to get married.
Well, from what you mean
With
from?
Verna. They dated for 7 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he never told you.
No, we didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They were together between 6 and 7 years.
Yeah, but that was his second marriage.
Yeah, I know.
There's a big difference.
I know. No.
The reason that now, like I've been a widow for 22, and I'm very sorry that I didn't get married again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Because it's better with two, especially
No,
when
yeah.
you're sick like
Yeah.
me. Well, let me know, and I might go in my little wallet and send you a present.
Yeah?